Let's take it back, all the way back, before the distractions, before the trauma, before the programming. There was you, pure, conscious power, not a victim, not a pawn, not a personality, a divine presence wrapped in form. But this world doesn't want you to remember that. It's built to make you forget. Forget the power. Forget the source. Forget the fact that you chose to be here. It feeds on your amnesia, because if you don't remember who you are, you'll play small. And let's keep it a buck, family. Playing small is kind of like having Michael Jordan on your team and saying, well, as long as we can make it to the playoffs and win a few games, I'm happy with our results. Yeah, no. You know that as long as that Jordan guy suits up for the franchise you're with, whether owner, coach, or player, that means we play for championships over here. Settling for any mindset less than that is obeying an illusion. And we don't obey illusions on this side. The system doesn't fear your body. It fears your remembrance. Because remembrance activates authority. It restores vision. It dismantles their spell. You go from, why is this happening to me? To, I know exactly what's going on. From, I'm scared, to I command. This is why remembering who you are is the win. Because the game isn't physical. It's vibrational, mental, spiritual. And when you step back into your identity as a creator being, you stop reacting and start orchestrating. You see, fear is only effective on someone who forgot they're eternal. Manipulation only works on a mind that forgot its origin. Control only works on someone who forgot they had choice. And when you remember, you become immune to the poison because you're no longer drinking from the same cup. But don't get it twisted. This isn't just positive thinking. This isn't about ego. This is about soul memory, realignment, energetic identity, tapping back into what always was, before the trauma, before the tests, before the technology. You don't win by fighting harder. You win by standing taller, not in arrogance, but in alignment. Because the moment you stand in the full awareness of your essence, the entire matrix around you has to recalibrate. That's why they attack the mind. That's why they attack the heart. That's why they mimic your dreams, twist your thoughts, send opposition to your doorstep. Because they know what happens if you remember. You become a mirror, showing others their light. You become a signal, calling those still asleep. And you become a threat to every false structure built on the lie that you were ever anything less than divine. They can't program someone who sees through the program. They can't cage someone who already left the system in spirit. They can't hijack someone whose signal is shielded in source. So the supposed war isn't over your money. It's not even over your freedom. It's over your memory. Because when you remember, you unplug from their power grid and plug back into your own. You stop asking permission to be whole. You stop explaining your evolution. You stop doubting your authority. You walk different, talk different, command different. Because now you remember. You don't need their validation. You don't fear their rejection. Because now you realize they never had power to give or take in the first place. The game only worked when you were playing it blind. But now the blindfold is off. You're not here to beg the system for mercy. You're here to watch it crumble in the presence of your remembrance. Remembering who you are is not a cute affirmation. It's not something Mufasa told Simba just because it sounded cool. It's a spiritual reconnection to your original frequency, before the interference, before the fear, before the programming. At the deepest level, you are consciousness, not just a body, not just a mind. You are an eternal architect temporarily clothed in flesh. You are not a receiver of reality, you are a co-creator of it. You are not bound by the system, you're a witness and shaper of it. When you remember that, thoughts lose power over you. Fear loses its grip. Control structures can't hold you. Manipulations start to fall flat. You stop reacting like a pawn and begin moving like a sovereign. That's why remembering who you are is the win. Because in this design, this spiritual war, the ultimate goal of the opposition isn't your death. It's your forgetfulness. If they can make you forget your divine essence, your authority, your infinite nature, then they've won. But when you remember, it's like their entire game board collapses because you stop playing by their rules. So yes, remembering who you are doesn't just mean you win. It actually is the win.